had the Ubuntu 23.10.1 update. So here is the 23.10.1 update because the Ubuntu had some issues for a few days. So that's the reason they didn't release the 23.10, but here is the new point update. I think there was some malicious activities or something like something wrong with the Ubuntu file. So that's the reason they released the Ubuntu 23.10.1 Mantic Minotaur. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So I'm running it on a virtualization, which is a VMware with 60 GB of hard disk, and my CPU is i5 1240p, and I'm using a 4 GB of RAM for my virtual machine. So here is the welcome screen of Ubuntu 23.10.1 update. So this is a live boot. So let's choose your language. I'm choosing the English. So there are plenty of languages available here, as you can see. I'm choosing the English and the default one. So let's change to English. I accidentally clicked something. Let's choose English and click on next. Here you get the two options, and this is a new installer of Ubuntu which was already in the previous version too. So I'm choosing the live boot first. It's always a good option to boot it in a live boot first, because if you have any bugs or anything like apps crashes or anything, you can save your computer by just removing the ISO file. So if you directly install it on your hard disk or anything like that, if you have any issues, so that will be a problem for your PC. So that's the reason I'm always going to go with the live boot. So let's click on live boot first, and here is the complete desktop layout. So let's first open the system monitor before opening the or changing the display resolution. So these are all the processes running right now. When we launched the Linux distro, these are all the processes running, right? So these are all the resources. It's almost a 1.4 GB in the beginning of the video, or the base memory. When you start it, you will be seeing the 1.4 GB of memory. It should be different in your PC, maybe sometimes. So this is 1.4 GB in my PC, and the CPU is almost under 20%. So there is a stable graph in the CPU, as you can see. Let's run it to 1 minute or 60 seconds. So we can see the graph behavior. Maybe we should be seeing a high peak in graphs sometimes. So this is a stable ISO file. So there was some issue with the Ubuntu. Instead of releasing 23.10, they released the 23.10, but after a few hours they removed the ISO file. Maybe some virus or malicious activity has been done. So I don't know. So it took like a 3-4 days to release the point update. So here it is. As soon as the ISO file is released, I'm making a video. So I already made the Ubuntu flavors video. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out in my channel. So they are already available in my previous videos. So this is the graph of a CPU which is almost 20%, under 20% or 25%. It's going a bit high and low. So 1.4 GB of RAM. So let me put it in the right side corner throughout the video, so you can change. You can see the changes throughout the video in the system resources. So let's first change the display settings by right clicking display settings. My monitor is 1920 into 1080, so let me change that. So with a 16:9 ratio, let's apply, keep changes. You even have the fractional scaling, so you can change the scaling like a 125%, 175, 225. So you can change that by checking the fractional scaling or toggling the button. Here is the toggle button. So let's go to the about section. So here is some of the information which is let me put it properly. So the device name itself has Ubuntu operating system Ubuntu 23.10, but it's a zero point 0.1 update. So this is my CPU, this is my RAM, this is my hard disk. So let's click on system details. Here is complete information. The default kernel, which I already mentioned in previous videos of Ubuntu flavor also. So here is the default Linux kernel, which is available in Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors also. Windows system is X11. GNOME version should be 45. It will be available in few seconds, or maybe I will show you in the terminal. So this is the information. So let's close it. Let's open the internet browser, which is a Firefox web browser. And let me take you to their official website and show you the new features and release notes, all those things. So let's wait for the Firefox to load. It should take like a few seconds, like a 10 to 15 seconds usually. So keep an eye on the CPU and RAM throughout the video, so you'll be getting an idea to use it or not, this Linux distro. And this Linux distro will be having the end of life at maybe next year mid, which is June, June 2024. So it's almost like a 9 months of life for this. So it's clearly up to you to choose this Linux distro, or maybe older version will be good, which is LTS. So it's clearly up to you. So about Firefox, this is the same version which is available in Ubuntu and Ubuntu flavors. So let me type in about support to get some of the important information. So here is some of the important information. If you want, you can just pause the video and read everything. So let me scroll it down. So all the information is here. If you want, you can read it by pausing the video. Or if you don't want anything like this, you can just skip the video and go to the next part. So here is complete information. So you can even change the playback speed in the YouTube settings to slowly read, or you can make that in a slow motion like a 0.25. The default number will be 1.0. You can change it to 0.25 so you can read properly in the playback speed of YouTube settings. So this is all the information. So let's go to their official website. Which is ubuntu.com. So here is the official website. So as you can see, Ubuntu 23.10 is now available. A new app center, all the information is here. So as you can see, so access the content. Ubuntu 23.10, here is all the release notes. New GNOME, fast and friendly and fun introducing the new app center. Freeing firmware updates. PPM backed full disk encryption. So you can just pause the video, or you can just directly go to the website and get all the information. Let's go to the download section now. Let's click on download Ubuntu desktop. So this is a LTS. It is supported until April 2027. So I think it's a good option to go with the 22.04.3 LTS. Or if you want, you can just go with the Ubuntu 23.10. And as you can see, it's supported until July 2024, which is almost like 8-9 months from now. So here is the release notes. Let's click on release notes. So I'm using a VPN, so it's having some of the issues, so that's the reason it's a bit of slow here. So here is complete release notes. As you can see, you can just pause the video and read everything if you want, or you can just go to directly to their website and read everything. So let's close it. You can download directly from here, or legacy desktop installer. It's going to take a few seconds, and you should be seeing the ISO file downloading. The file size is around like 4.8 GB, which is almost like a 5 GB in a file size. So it's still a big file size. As you can see, you should be seeing the number Ubuntu 23.10 and a 0.1 update. So here is the ISO file. So let's close the browser and let's open the terminal, and let's get some information of the distro. So let me change the color of the terminal so you can properly see it. Let me change to gnome light. Let me make it bigger so you can see properly. So let me type in inxi. So it's not installed. We need to install it. Copy the command and paste it. It takes like a 20 seconds maximum, and you should be seeing the inxi installed in a few seconds. So instead of waiting for that, let's see the date and calendar. Here is the date and calendar. Accessibilities. Here is all the accessibility. Power, volume, internet connection, night light, power mode, all the information is here. So let's type in Y for yes to install. So the memory is almost like a 1.7 GB and CPU is almost more than 50%. It's not a stable graph in the CPU, as you can see. It's almost installed. Just a few seconds. So let's check about the terminal. So it's the version 3.49.92 for GNOME 45, and our terminal is completed. So let's type in inxi now and hit enter. As you can see, this is my CPU, which is already mentioned. So this is the kernel already mentioned too. So right now memory is almost a 1.62 GB of 3.78 GB, which is 43% almost. This is my hard disk, which is already mentioned. These are all the processors running right now, and inxi version is here, as you can see, 3.3.29. So let me type in another command, which is inxi-small b. Hit enter. So under system it says as a Ubuntu, host Ubuntu, kernel already mentioned, 64-bit, and desktop environment is a GNOME version 45.0, and distro it says as a Ubuntu 23.10 Mantic Minotaur. So under machine it says as a VMware because I'm running it on a VMware. So this is my graphic information. Display is a X11. VMWGFX version is a 2.20.0.0. XOS version is a 1.21.1.7. XVLAN version is a 23.2.0. So this is my display resolution. OpenGL version is a 4.3. Mesa is a 23.2.1. And this is my storage, which is 60 GB, already mentioned too. Process running right now are 321. Uptime is 15 minutes. It's almost 15 minutes I'm making this video. So this is memory, and this is used memory. So let's type in another command, which is inxi-G. Hit enter. So these are all the information which I already mentioned. So as you can see, so let's type in neofetch now. Before that neofetch, let's type in another command, which is cat /etc/issue. It's Ubuntu 23.10. So let's type in neofetch now. Neofetch is not pre-installed, so let's install it now. Copy the command, paste it, hit enter. We need to type Y for yes. It's going to take like a 30 to 40 seconds, and we should be installed the neofetch. RAM is almost like a 1.8 GB now, which is almost 45%. And we have our NeoFetch installed. So let's type in NeoFetch now. Hit enter. So here is the NeoFetch. As you can see, you can pause the video and read everything if you want. So let's type in another command, which is inxi-sv8. Hit enter. So this is the command which will grab complete information in the distro. So let's scroll it up. So here is the system information, complete system information. So this is the machine information. This is the memory information. This is the CPU information. This is all the vulnerabilities. This is the graphics information. Graphics, display, monitor, all the information is here. Just pause the video and read everything if you want. Here is the audio information, which is a pipewire. So let's see whether here we have the pipewire version, which is 0.3.79, ELSA version K6.5.0-9. So this is the network information. This is the Bluetooth information. If you have Bluetooth, you should be seeing the Bluetooth information. This is drives, partition, USB, sensors, repos. All the information is here. So this is the process running right now, all the information of process. And finally, batch version is 5.2.15. Process running right now are 316. Uptime is almost 18 minutes. Wake-ups are 272. Init systemd version is 253. So we got all the information. So finally we have like a headstop. So for some of the viewers who want to headstop, let's type in headstop now. Hit enter. Headstop is also not pre-installed, so we need to install it. Let's copy the command. Let's paste it. Hit enter. It will take like a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds. And we have the headstop installed. So let's type in headstop. So here is the headstop. So let's close the terminal. We don't need the terminal now. So let's open the installer. So here is the installer. Again, we have like a lot of languages here, which I already mentioned in the beginning of the video. So choose your language, click on next, choose your keyboard layout. You can choose your keyboard variant here, or you can type here to test your keyboard. I'm choosing the English United States. Click on next. Connecting this computer, you need to connect to a network to work everything properly. So if you don't have the internet connection, just go with I don't want to connect to the internet just now. I have internet, so I'm going with this option. Click on next. So the current Ubuntu desktop installer version is here, so you need to update. So I'm just going to skip it because I don't want to even install the Ubuntu because I want to make another video, so that's the reason. So here is the default installation, or here is the full installation, an offline friendly selection of office tools, utilities, web browser and games, and just the essentials, web browser and basic utilities. It's clearly up to you what you want to choose. I think a full installation will be a good option, but it's clearly up to you. Whatever you want to choose, it's clearly up to you. So other options: install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware, and download and install support for additional media formats. I'm going to check this button because it's important. So if you want to do that later, you can do that later. It's clearly up to you. Click on next after you're satisfied with all the steps. I don't know, something is going around. So here is the two options, which is a single boot option or a dual boot option. So this option will delete the current operating system. If you have any operating system or media files, anything in it, it's going to wipe all the things and it's going to install the Ubuntu 23.10.1 in it. So be careful while choosing this option. If you don't know how to install it, you can go check other channels who make videos on how to install the Linux distro. I don't have any problems checking out other channels, so it's clearly up to you. And always a good option, don't just watch someone's single video and directly install. Go check 3 to 4 videos, tutorials about all the installation and all the things, and go with the installation later. Don't just download it and go install it. If only if you need, only if you know how to install it and how to use it. Or you can you are you I want to mean if you are a pro user or people who already know how to install it or already use the Linux distro, you can go with the installation. So if you are a newcomer to the Linux, so it's always a good option. Go check out 4 to 5 channels and their videos, and go with the installation later. So these are the advanced features. You get like a experimental erase disk and a UZFS, which is a new option. You can choose whatever you want. You already know how to install it, so I'm not going to show everything. So the manual partitioning, you already know, it's a dual partitioning. You need to create a partition here to dual boot or alongside with another operating system. So choose whatever you want and click on next. Here is the summary of whatever you choose in the previous steps. So after clicking on install, it's going to give you the username password. You need to create username password, and it's going to install it on your hard disk or a virtual disk, whatever you choose it. So I'm not going to install, so let me close the installer now. So that was the installation process. I'm not going to install, I'm not going to show you how to install because I want to make another video. So that was the installation steps. So let's open some of the applications and see whether it crashes or not, or we should get something lag or something like that. Let's test it. If you don't get anything like lag or anything app crashes, so we should be good with the installation. So it says as a stable ISO file, but it's a point update, so be careful before installing. First try it and then go with the installation. So let's open like a bunch of apps, like a 10 to 12 apps, and see whether it crashes or not, or we should be getting any lag or something like that. So let's open random apps like a document scanner. Let's even open the LibreOffice. Let's open the utilities, which is disk usage analyzer. And let's open like a disks. Let's even open the cheese. Let's open the rhythm box, the shortwell, firmware updater, software updater, software and updates. Let's even open the text editor. I think we are good, I guess. Let's even open the videos. I think we pretty much opened most of the apps. So let's check the system monitor now. So the memory is almost like a 2.9 GB or maybe 3 GB because there are some apps should be opened. So let's wait for a few seconds. I think we have every app opened, I guess. So the CPU should be going down because all the apps are already open. So let's wait for a few seconds now. So let's maximize to look it properly. So as you can see, the RAM is almost like a 3.1 GB. So I think everything opened, I guess. So let's even open the app center. Let's even open the file manager. Let's even open the Thunderbird also. Let's try to open almost every app and see the system resources, and we can see the lag or anything like that. So right now there is no lag. These are all the applications opened at once, so that's the reason a bit of delay there. So that's pretty common, don't need to judge on that because we opened all the apps at once, so that's the reason there is a bit of delay in all the apps. So we opened almost like 15 to 20 apps, so that's the reason a bit of delay. So I don't see any lag or anything like that. So everything is working good in my opinion. So already Thunderbird is also opened, so no problem. And we should be seeing our CPU going down in any second maybe. RAM is almost like a 3.7 GB as you can see. There is no difference in CPU, I guess. Usually it should go down when all the apps are opened, and RAM should be like that, but we don't see anything like that in the CPU. It's going slowly, as you can see. It's almost, again it's back to 90%, so let's keep it aside. And it is taking a bit of time here, as you can see. That was a major delay. So all the applications are already opened, so we can't even complain because it's almost 3.9 GB. And as you can see, the CPU went down to almost below 50%. So RAM should be like same because all the apps are already opened and they are still open. So after we close everything, the RAM should be going down. So right now CPU is down to 60%. So let's check the version of all the apps. So as you can see, there is no not a bit of delay. Everything is working good. So when the CPU was going down, there was a bit of delay or a bit of lag. So that's quite common in every Linux distro when you open all the distros, all the applications, sorry. So everything is going good. The version of a Thunderbird is 115.3.1. So let's close it. So there is a bit of a second or maybe 2 seconds of delay because it's almost 4 GB of RAM. So the usage of the RAM is almost 3.8, 3.7 GB. So you can commonly say that it is taking a bit of time there. So now it is going, everything is going good. So let's check the applications information or about. The text editor is a 45.0 because the GNOME desktop environment is 45. Firmware update, let's see that later. Let's check the Shotwell app. The version is 0.32.2. As you can see, RAM is also going down because we're closing all the applications now. About Rhythmbox, the version is 3.4.7. So let's close it. About Cheese 44.1. Let's even close that also. LibreOffice version should be like a 7.6.2.1, I guess. Yep, it is. Because all the Ubuntu flavor has the same version, so we can expect that you need this Ubuntu also. Let's even close it. Let's check the about disks. So here is the version. Let's close it. Let's check the version of the disk usage analyzer 45.0. Document scanner 44.0. gparted 1.5.0. calendar should be 45. Let's close it. I think we pretty much closed everything, I guess. So here is the software and updates. You can customize everything. You already know how to do that. In the previous version there is also available, so you can change anything you want here. So it's clearly up to you. So let me close this thing also. It's not closing, so there was a bit of delay in there. So the software on this computer is up to date, so there is nothing update here available here because the point update is also released. So here is the file manager. So it's a 45.rc. Preference. These are all the preference. You can change up to whatever you want. Show hidden files. Here are other options like a take screenshot by right clicking it. So let's close the file manager also. I already showed this, so let me close this. So firmware updater, so no device found. So let's close this thing also. Let's quit it. So here is the app center. So they said this is a new app center. So here it is. The version is a 1.0.0 alpha. You can explore. Here are some of the apps. You can directly install it. You can see the version here. You can see the screenshots here, and you get the description of the application here. You can directly search it here, like for example VLC, and you should be getting the app here. So here is the version. You can directly install it. So let's go to the manage. Here are some of the updates. Ubuntu desktop installer, which was already popped up in the beginning of the video, so I just skipped it. You can just update it. It's almost a 137 MB of file size. You can go with the show details and you'll get some of the information here, the version here, and the description and the links for the website. So here are some of the updates, which is a Firefox firmware updater, Snap Store, and all the things. You can update it. It's already updated, so I think it's not updated. This is only available. These are all updated. So even if you want, you can check the updates by clicking on here, check for updates. So let's try to check the updates. So we have just Ubuntu desktop installer available. You can update it. So let's close it. So let's check the display settings or the settings. Let's go to settings and find some of the changes there. So there is no change in the settings. So let's try to find anything here. So this is the network. And this is the Bluetooth. If you have a Bluetooth device, you will be getting the Bluetooth. Appearance, you have like a few wallpapers, like 4 to 5 wallpapers added. So this is the newer one, like 5 to 6 wallpapers added. So you can change it the color. You can choose the default or dark mode. I always choose the light mode or the default mode. So it's clearly up to you to choose whatever you want. Ubuntu desktop, you can customize all the options here, like a dock, all the things you already know in the previous version, so no need to show that. Here are the notifications, search, multitasking, apps, privacy. These are all the things which you already know, so no need to show everything because it's going to take a lengthy video. Sharing, this is the sound. You can customize all the sound options here. Here is the power option. You can customize this thing also. Display already showed. Mouse and touchpad. You can choose your mouse and touchpad options here. You can change if you want. You can choose the keyboard shortcuts. You can customize all the things about the keyboard. Here are the printers. You can add the printers here. Removable disk, color, region and language, accessibilities, users. This is a live boot, so that's the reason it says as a live session user. Default apps, date and time. So these are all the default apps. If you have a multiple browser, you should be seeing a multiple options, as you can see here. Thunderbird, you can change Thunderbird. Here is the image viewer options. So if you have like a multiple apps, you should be getting an options or whatever you want to choose. So this is the about section. I think we pretty much covered everything. So this is the activities, new icon or a new thing here. Instead of text, you get like this option. So I think we pretty much covered everything. If I forgot something, you can just let me know in the comment section. So at the end of the video, the RAM is almost like a 2 GB of RAM and the CPU is going crazy because we opened all the apps instantly and instantly closed everything. So that's the reason there is no stable graph here. So if you wait for a few seconds, you should be seeing the stable graph. As you can see, it's almost under 25% as the in the beginning. So I think we pretty much covered everything. If I forgot anything, you can just let me know in the comment section, or you can just type it in the comment section so other viewers can check that options too. So let's see the logout screen, whether it's changed or not. So let's log out it. So let's wait few seconds and we should be seeing our logout screen or a login screen. So we don't get anything change here, same as the previous version. So I think that's the end of the video. So already posted another video because I'll be posting 2 videos daily, so without missing any day. So there is already a content there. So after watching this video, watch that video too. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.